The morning is quiet. A soft light spills through the window. You take a deep breath, feeling the air move slowly through your chest. Maybe your shoulders feel heavy today. Maybe they've carried too many years of lifting, reaching, or simply living. After 60, the body speaks differently. It whispers instead of shouting. It asks for patience, for time, for gentleness. You remember how freely you once moved, how your arms reached high, how your back felt open. Now there's a little stiffness, a reminder that every muscle holds a story. But today we start to listen. Not to push, not to fight, but to understand. This is not a workout. This is a conversation with your own body. A slow shoulder stretch, a quiet ritual of care. We move with kindness, with breath, with awareness. Because healing isn't in speed. It's in the softness of every motion. So find your seat. Let your hands rest. And let's begin this gentle journey. Your shoulders are ready to remember what ease feels like. And your heart is ready to follow. Evelyn wakes up to the soft light of morning. She listens to the sound of the birds outside her window. Her arms rest still against the sheets. She stretches gently, feeling the familiar tightness across her shoulders. It has been there for years now. A quiet reminder that time moves differently after 60. She used to laugh at how easily her body once followed her will. She would reach for high shelves, paint her garden fence, lift her grandchild with ease. Now even reaching for a mug brings a small sigh. The joints feel slower, heavier, more thoughtful. She sits up and smiles softly. Not a sad smile, but one that holds acceptance. Her body has changed, but it's still hers. It still carries her stories. She remembers the first time she noticed the stiffness. It was a cool autumn morning. She had tried to pull her sweater over her head and felt a sudden pull. Not pain, just resistance. She froze for a second, realizing something was different. From that day, she moved more carefully. She told herself it was fine, just age, nothing to fix. But deep inside, she missed the freedom of motion. She missed the easy swing of her arms, the lightness in her step. Months passed, and the stiffness grew quieter but stronger. Like a vine wrapping around an old tree, slow but steady. Then one afternoon, while watering her plants, she noticed something. Her neighbor, a woman about her age, was stretching by the fence. Slow, deliberate movements. Arms circling, shoulders rolling, breath deep and calm. Evelyn watched, curious. There was something peaceful in the way her neighbor moved. Not hurried, not forced. Just a kind rhythm, as if she was listening to her own body's music. Later that day, Evelyn asked about it. Her neighbor smiled and said, "It's just a few shoulder stretches, slow ones. They help me feel young again." The words lingered in Evelyn's mind all evening. Slow ones, she repeated to herself. That night before bed, she stood in front of her mirror. She rolled her shoulders once awkwardly. It felt strange at first, unfamiliar. But then she took a deep breath. She lifted her shoulders again slowly, then let them drop. A soft release followed. Not a miracle, not magic, just a little ease. Something inside her softened too. The next morning, she did it again. And again the day after that. It became her quiet morning ritual. Coffee, music, gentle movement. Each day, her shoulders remembered a little more. Her arms began to open, her posture to lift. She didn't count repetitions. She didn't rush. She simply listened. And with every slow circle, she felt a whisper of youth return. Now when she waters her garden, her arms move freely. The stiffness hasn't disappeared completely, but it no longer owns her. She has found comfort in motion again. She has learned that slowing down isn't weakness. It's wisdom. And sometimes, the smallest stretch can open the largest door. The next morning, Evelyn sits by her kitchen window. A soft mist curls over the garden, painting everything silver. She holds her cup of tea, breathing in the warmth. Her shoulders feel lighter today, as if they remember something. But she still wonders, what really happens inside those joints? Why do they grow stiff with time? She closes her eyes, trying to picture it. Inside each shoulder, tiny bones glide like dancers. They meet at delicate joints, wrapped in tendons and soft tissue. For decades they've lifted, reached, embraced, and carried. Every motion, every task, leaves a memory in the muscles. But when we stop moving, those memories fade. The joints grow quiet. The tissue tightens like an old fabric left in the sun. Evelyn remembers when she worked long hours at her desk. Shoulders hunched, head forward, eyes fixed on the screen. Years of small habits that seemed harmless. But bodies keep score in silence. Now at 67, she begins to understand. Her stiffness isn't a punishment. It's a story written by time, by living. The body simply needs to be spoken to again. She smiles at the thought. Maybe her shoulders aren't broken. Maybe they're just waiting to be heard. She stands and lets her fingertips rest on her collarbones. The skin there is soft, the bones gentle beneath. She moves her arms slowly, like wings unfolding after a long rest. A quiet pop, a stretch, a release. She feels warmth bloom across her upper back. It's not pain, just life returning. She realizes how much her shoulders do for her every day. They hold her posture. They carry her groceries. They open doors, hold hugs, lift the little one she loves. She laughs softly. She has never thanked them before. In the calm of her kitchen, she whispers, "Thank you." It feels silly and sacred at once. She learned something beautiful that morning. The shoulders are not just tools of motion. They are symbols of openness. They connect the heart to the hands. They tell the world how we stand in it, confident or weary, closed or free. Every time she rolls them back, she feels herself open a little more. She imagines the joints inside, small and complex, but perfectly made. They ask only for gentle movement and attention. She takes another slow breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. The rhythm feels like a soft tide moving through her body. She thinks of all the years she ignored that rhythm. Now she promises to listen, to let her shoulders speak through motion, through care. And in that promise, she feels something shift inside. A new awareness. A quiet respect for this fragile, miraculous design. The morning light grows warmer, spilling across the floor. Evelyn places her cup down and stands taller. Her shoulders rest easily, no longer heavy with silence. She knows now they were never asking for strength, only for softness, attention, and the grace to move again. The next day begins with the soft hum of rain against the window. Evelyn stands in her living room, bare feet on the wooden floor. She closes her eyes for a moment, breathing in the sound. It feels peaceful, like the world is slowing down with her. Today, she decides to prepare her body before moving. No rush, no pushing. Just awareness. She's learning that before the shoulders open, the mind must quiet. She lets her hands rest on her thighs. Her breath comes gently, slow and deep. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Each breath feels like a wave washing through her chest. She feels her ribs expand, her back rise and fall. Her shoulders begin to follow that rhythm. She rolls them once, twice, testing the air around her. There's a crackle of sound, small and honest. She smiles. That's the body waking up. She remembers something her neighbor said one afternoon. Before every stretch, give your body permission to move. It sounded poetic then, but now she understands. Movement isn't about control. It's about cooperation. She opens her eyes and looks at her reflection in the window glass. A woman with silver hair, standing tall and calm. She doesn't look old. She looks alive. She begins to warm her body with small circles of the wrists. Her fingers, stiff from years of work, start to loosen. Then she lifts her arms, palms facing each other. The stretch reaches through her shoulders like sunlight through branches. Her breath deepens. She lowers her arms slowly, feeling the space she's created. This isn't just physical, she realizes. It's emotional space too. The more she breathes, the lighter her thoughts become. For a long time, she carried tension she didn't notice. Old worries, unspoken fears, little frustrations. They lived quietly in her shoulders. Every time she tensed, they grew stronger. Now with each slow exhale, she feels them dissolve. Her body and mind are beginning to speak the same language. She continues moving with care. A gentle sway of the torso. A small twist to the side. The rain outside becomes a rhythm for her breathing. Inhale with the patter. Exhale with the fall. She's not stretching yet, just arriving. Arriving in her own skin in this moment. She feels warmth spreading across her upper body. It's not sweat. It's energy, circulation, life. She whispers softly to herself, "This is enough." No need to reach further. No need to prove anything. Her body responds with gratitude, silent but certain. She sits down again, her heart calm. The preparation feels sacred now. It's not just about moving shoulders. It's about remembering how to be present. Outside, the rain begins to fade. The world grows still again. And in that stillness, Evelyn feels ready. Ready to stretch. Ready to move. Ready to meet herself exactly as she is. Evelyn stands in the middle of her living room. The morning light paints a soft gold on the floor. She takes a deep breath and lets her shoulders drop. It's time to move. No expectations. Just a quiet promise to be gentle. She begins with a slow shoulder roll. Inhale as the shoulders lift toward the ears. Exhale as they fall back and down, heavy and relaxed. She feels the small pops of release, like tiny bubbles bursting. The movement is simple, but her body listens closely. She rolls again, slower this time. Up, back, down, and rest. Her breath follows the rhythm. A calm tide moving through her chest. The tension melts, one layer at a time. She changes direction now, rolling forward. It feels different, a little strange, but she smiles. Every motion is a conversation, not a command. Next, she crosses one arm over her chest. Her right hand holds it gently, not forcing anything. She feels the stretch travel from her shoulder to her upper back. Her breath deepens, and her chest opens slightly. In that stillness, she thinks of all the times she carried too much. Grocery bags, boxes, emotions, expectations. And yet her shoulders stayed faithful. Always there, always holding on. Now they ask for kindness in return. She holds the stretch a few breaths longer, then releases slowly, shaking her arms loose. The other side now. Her left arm crosses over, her right hand supporting. The air feels warm against her skin. She breathes into the space behind her shoulder blade. Every exhale softens something inside. Her thoughts drift like clouds, light in passing. She finishes the stretch and stands taller. Then she clasps her hands behind her back. Her fingers interlace, her knuckles press gently away. The front of her chest opens. She lifts her chin slightly, not too high. Her shoulders pull back, her heart expands. The stretch feels brave, like saying yes to the day. A ray of sunlight touches her arm, warm and kind. She holds it for a few breaths, then releases. Her arms fall softly to her sides. The quiet between movements feels sacred. Finally, she moves into a neck and shoulder release. Her head tilts gently to one side. The stretch hums down her neck and shoulder. She doesn't rush it. She breathes through it, patient and aware. Then she switches sides, letting her ear fall toward the other shoulder. A sigh escapes her lips. It feels like letting go of years of holding on. She stands still again, breathing deeply. Her shoulders feel warm, awake, alive. The room feels lighter, too. She smiles to herself. This small sequence has become her morning song. No rush, no pain, no rules. Just movement, breath, and kindness. She whispers softly, "Thank you, body." And in that moment, she feels a quiet joy. The kind that comes not from doing more, but from simply being. The stretch is done, but the peace lingers. It stays with her like sunlight in her bones. Evelyn sits quietly after her stretches. The room feels softer, almost breathing with her. Her shoulders are warm, her arms light. For a moment, she just listens to her heartbeat. It's steady, calm, familiar. She smiles, realizing how far she's come. This small practice has become something more. It's no longer about flexibility or strength. It's about gentleness. It's about remembering that slow can also be strong. She thinks of all the times she rushed through life. Cooking, working, cleaning, always moving too fast. Even her rest used to feel hurried. But now, these slow stretches have taught her something deeper. That the body heals when the heart softens. That strength grows quietly, not loudly. She touches her shoulder, feeling the steady pulse beneath. It reminds her of patience, of the way rivers carve stone, not by force but by persistence. Every morning she moves, she feels a little freer. Every evening, she breathes a little deeper. Her movements have become prayers of gratitude. She whispers thanks to her body, to her years, to her breath. For so long she thought slowing down meant fatting away. But slowing down has given her life back. She feels more present in her skin, more aware of every small joy. The sunlight on her arm, the sound of her neighbor's laughter, the smell of coffee drifting from the kitchen. Her awareness stretches wider, like her shoulders. She realizes that gentleness isn't weakness. It's wisdom earned through time. She remembers how her younger self used to push through pain, ignore fatigue, force the body to keep up. Now she knows there's a quiet kind of courage in softness. It takes bravery to move slowly, to listen instead of command, to breathe instead of rush. She feels tears rise, not from sadness but from recognition. She has learned to be kind to herself again. Her shoulders, once tight and heavy, now rest with grace. They no longer carry what they don't need to. She rolls them gently, one last time. The motion feels like forgiveness. For every year she ignored her body's quiet voice. For every day she forgot to pause. The warmth in her chest spreads to her fingertips. She feels alive completely. She closes her eyes and imagines her shoulders glowing with light. Not bright, not blazing. Just soft and steady, like morning sunlight on a calm lake. She knows she'll keep doing this. Not because she has to, but because it feels like love. Love in motion. Love through breath. She whispers softly to herself, "Gentle is enough." The words hang in the air like music. For the first time in years, her body feels like home again. And in that quiet peace, she realizes healing has already begun. The sun rises gently over the neighborhood. Evelyn opens her curtains, smiling at the golden light. The world feels fresh, alive, waiting. She rolls her shoulders once, out of habit now. It happens naturally, without thought. Her body remembers the rhythm. This slow stretch has become her morning companion. She no longer calls it exercise. It's simply a moment of connection, a small conversation between her breath and her bones. She moves with the day, not against it. Each breath reminds her of how far she's come. Her stiffness has softened, her movements grown steady. But what's more important, her spirit feels open. She makes her tea, humming quietly. The steam rises in soft curls, warming her face. Her neighbor waves from across the fence. They've started stretching together some mornings. Two women, two stories, one shared piece. They laugh when they lose balance, cheer when they move in sync. There's no competition, no judgment. Just the joy of being present together. Evelyn never thought movement could bring community. But now she sees it. One stretch can open more than muscles. It opens hearts too. She feels grateful for that discovery. Sometimes small routines change everything. Not all at once, but in gentle ripples through the day. She thinks of others her age, sitting at home feeling unsure. She wishes they could feel this lightness too. So she starts sharing her story. With her friends, with her daughters, with anyone who asks. She tells them, you don't need to move fast, you just need to begin. Her words carry the calm she's found. The calm that comes from listening to her body, not fighting it. Each evening now, she repeats her stretches. The house quiets, the sky turns lavender. She moves slowly, the way one would turn pages of a cherished book. She breathes in gratitude. She breathes out release. And in that rhythm, she finds her center again. Her arms move with grace, her posture tall. Not perfect, not forced, just natural. She smiles at her reflection in the window. The woman looking back feels familiar again. Strong in gentleness, beautiful in calm. Evelyn thinks of how aging once frightened her. How she feared losing mobility, losing herself. Now she sees aging differently. It's not a decline, but a deepening. Each slow stretch teaches her patience. Each breath reminds her she's still becoming. And every sunrise feels like a quiet invitation to begin again. She finishes her routine, hands resting softly on her heart. The world outside hums with morning life. She feels part of it, fully present. Not just moving, but living. Not just stretching, but growing. She whispers one last time, thank you. The words float gently through the room. They linger in the air like light. And as the day unfolds, Evelyn walks forward open, steady, and free. The day drifts toward evening. The light softens, turning gold and quiet. Evelyn sits by her window, shoulders relaxed, breath steady. She watches the trees sway gently in the breeze. Each movement outside feels like a reflection of her own rhythm. Slow, peaceful, alive. She thinks back to the first morning she began. How uncertain she felt. How heavy her body seemed. Now there's ease where tension used to live. Not perfect, but enough. Her shoulders no longer ache with effort. They move freely, like branches that trust the wind. She smiles, a small content smile. This journey wasn't about stretching alone. It was about coming home, to her body, her breath, her calm. She whispers softly, I am still growing. The words settle gently in her chest. Outside, the last light fades into twilight. The world slows, and so does she. She closes her eyes, feeling gratitude flow through her. A quiet strength rises within her heart. And as the evening deepens, Evelyn sits still, breathing peace. The gentle rhythm of life continues, slow, steady, and beautifully her own.